Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Thursday, July 2nd, 2020, and here are some of today's trends in the news on the market front. It's happy days are here again. The markets are up all around the world and in the USSA. And you know why? It's all
bullshit.
You got it, and we'll tell you why. Oh, gold is up 1776. 1776, the spirit of 1776, right here in Kingston. July 4th, Saturday. Make sure you get up here. We'll be live streaming it too on Crown and John Street in Kingston, New York, in the Crown Garden. That's right. It's making the news. Judge Napolitano's going to be here. We're fighting for freedom. Unite for peace and to restore freedom. So see if you can make it. But going back to the markets, 1776 on gold, oil's up a little bit. S&P ends top period in decades in midst of crisis. After a quarter in which coronavirus shutdown sent markets plummeting, U.S. stocks recovered with the best quarter in percentage terms in more than 20 years. The rebound came on the heels of massive federal stimulus. All right? That's the Wall Street Journal. That's all this is. And again, Gregory Mannarino's been writing about it. We've been writing about it for years. The whole thing is rigged. It's all this cheap money going in because when you look at the data, the jobs went up. The job numbers were great. Yeah. They created, for example, 200,000 jobs in clothing stores. It's still down 40%. Yeah, the numbers are coming up. They mean nothing because there's still a lot of lockdowns and businesses in close to recovering. It's one industry after another's going down. The jobs that are going up mean very little. GDP plunged in Canada, 11.6%. Latin America faces poverty fight setback. They're looking at over more than 50 million people to plunge into hardship. Oh, yeah? Hey, remember what was going on before this happened? Oh, yeah, down in Latin America, Chile, Bolivia, Colombia, Peru, one place after another. How about Venezuela? Very tough times, demonstrations, riots, protests going on around the world before this happened. It was one of your top trends for 2020. The New World Disorder. And now this thing is going down around the world. These jobs aren't coming back. Tourism is dead, as well as other businesses. But the markets are up, and home prices are up, but sales are down in April. Across the nation, in metropolitan areas, it was up 47.1%, home prices. But sales of previously owned homes was down 17.9%. Apartment sales plunged in second quarter. Apartment sales in New York City were down only 54% compared with the same time last year, on and on. Median sale prices fell 18%. Oh, that, by the way, Manhattan apartment sales in the second quarter, I saw 54%. It's the largest percentage decline in 30 years. Now let's go on. Sales contracts also fell in June. The number of signed contracts of co-ops fell only 78%, but the markets are up. And you know what that is.
Bullshit.
You got it. And what I'm telling you now and reading you from the news, Trends Journal subscribers knew this. 3 months ago, we told you this was going to happen, and more and more and more, and that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. And what else do they have here? Compared with a year ago, the signed contracts for condos, they were down only 74%, and it goes on. Markets are up. Largest airplane maker, Airbus, will cut 10% of its jobs. Don't have to go into details. Lufthansa, you want to get on a plane? Virus test aims to help flyers cut quarantine because you're going to different places, they quarantine you. So now you got to get a test before you go onto the plane. Research carried out by the Airline Association found more than 80% of the travelers were concerned about being quarantined when they fly in or out. Tourism's not coming back. The airline industry's not coming back. You know when they're saying it's going to come back? Maybe in 2023. Maybe by 2025. This thing is going down hard. Look at the cover of your Trends Journal. The economy is dead. The politicians killed it with their COVID war. Just like they kill millions of people and steal trillions of dollars from us doing it with no exit strategy, same deal with this. Buyout stash gives little aid. 34 U.S. private equity-backed companies filed for bankruptcy from March 1st to June 14th. A huge Wendy's and Pizza Hut franchise just filed for bankruptcy. NPC International operates, you ready? 1,200 Pizza Huts and some 400 Wendy's in the United States filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, but the markets are going up. They're rigged. Read your Trends Journal. Premium cards lose their shine. Travel bans raise questions about whether it makes sense to pay high fees, showing how people are pulling out of these things. And you think about the credit card market. Citi, you get the Citi card, they borrow money from the Fed. And Pam Martins, Wall Street on Parade, does a great job at 0.35%. But they charge us what? Up to 27%. Yeah. You got it? The criminals are in charge. The criminals are in charge. The murderers and the thieves. Oh, big story here in the Toilet Paper Record. Whole one-page ad. Rename Yale now. By all means, rename the Ivy League university, founded on the riches of the slave trader, but replace it with more honorable name. Hey, Yale, huh? Yale. How about Murderers Row? Could you handle that? How about the Supreme Thieves? Harvard, Princeton, Yale, bullets, bombs, and banks. That's okay. That's okay. And what else do we have here? Novartis reaches $642 million settlement with U.S. authorities. The Swiss pharmaceutical group, Novartis, has agreed to pay $624 million in settlements over claims it paid kickbacks to doctors and improperly funded purchases of its own drugs by patients receiving U.S. government health benefits. Yeah, the people that are going to give you that vaccination, and what do they get? Chump change fines. Hey, how come you cops aren't beating the hell out of these people and locking them up, huh? How come you're not killing them as they're killing us? That's okay. Take it easy. Don't get angry. Be a little slave. Oh, the little people here in Woodstock are against me having the rally. Oh, they're shooting it off. All these little nothing, gutless people. The mask wearers, the little freaky, fraidy cats. Keep taking them drugs. How dare Salenti talk out against vaccinations? That's the word. Oh, go to the Kingston Freeman. Go to other places. They're running the news. We're holding the rally. Be here if you want to fight for freedom. And what can I do? What could I do? Go to OccupyPeace.com. Donate. Do something. And support the Trends Journal. Spread the word. Get more subscriptions. The more we get, the more we can do, because on UK's High Street suffers a jobs bloodbath. Up to 5,000 job cuts were closed on Wednesday morning by SSP Group, the travel food retailer behind outlets such as Upper Crust, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. But the markets are up. The markets are up because they're artificially propped up. Again, Greg Manarino's Great work in the Trends Journal, and we've been on top of this, as you well know. Europe tries to save its summer. The world tourism industry is on course to lose at least $1.5 trillion. Hey, but the markets are up. The markets are up. Take it easy. Macy's stores are its life preserver. The department store chain, which also owns Bloomingdale's, said its sales fell 45% from a year earlier in the quarter ending May. And it goes on. Oh, but the markets are up. The markets are up. We'll come back. We'll come back. Oh, car sales fall despite discount deals. What did they fall? Well, General Motors only fell 34%. Toyota's down only a third. And Fiat, only about 40%. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it. And to show you the disgusting system ruled by criminals, UK court, that's an FU and an UNOCK court, rejects Maduro's claim of $1 billion Venezuelan gold held by the Bank of England. The Bank of England is holding Venezuela's gold. They won't give it to them. And you know why? A British court has dealt a blow to attempts by Nicolas Maduro's regime they use the word, to access $1 billion in Venezuelan gold held by the Bank of England by ruling that the opposition leader, Juan Guaido, has been, quote, unequivocally recognized as Venezuela's president by the U.S. Mr. Justice Terrer, Mr. Justice, Mr. Jerkoff, said on Thursday, today, that it was the British government's prerogative to decide who was the legitimate head of state. That's in the Financial Times. It's the UK's prerogative to decide who the legitimate head of state is. This is outright criminality. Outright criminality. And they pass it off as it's okay. Hundreds arrested in protest of a Hong Kong security law. It's over there. It's gone. And I believe the Chinese pumped up the coronavirus so they could close down Hong Kong because they couldn't put it down before. What do you got? How many dead in China? 1.4 billion people? About 5,000. Oh, yeah, but they're lying about the numbers. Okay, let's say it's 100 times more. It's still nothing out of 1.4 billion people. And Beijing law erodes Hong Kong press freedom. Big news. But Facebook tightens rule amid growing ad boycott. Yeah, they could censor us, but not when China does it, not when them Russians do it, but the slimy little freaky geek boys and girls, because, hey, look at them, nothings. And they're the ones telling us what we can say and what we can't. Lawmakers move to stop troop cuts in Germany. U.S. lawmakers, Democrats and Republicans, are preparing legislation to block President Trump from withdrawing U.S. troops from Germany. I agree, pull out all the troops. That's one of the main action plans of Occupy Peace. Close all the bases overseas. The war's over for 75 years. What the hell are we in these countries for? We got to stop them Russians. It's a different war, right? If war breaks out between Europe and Russia, it's the end of the world. Hypersonic weapons, nuclear weapons, it's over. Got it? Bring home the troops. And that little piece of crap from California, Representative Adam Smith, from Washington, the Democrat who heads the Armed Service Committee, suggested Tuesday that an amendment could be approved by the committee by this week. Imagine that. Oh, and selling more propaganda? Money transfers bolstered belief in Russia's scheme. Belief in Russia's scheme put out by the toilet paper record And this guy Sanger, who's always singing the propaganda, he has a perfect track record of it. And the toilet paper record selling, no, you remember that, those aluminum tubes that, what's his name had over there? Saddam Hussein. NSA differed from CIA on Russia bounty intelligence. This is about their saying that the Russians paid the Taliban to kill American soldiers. Oh. What are we doing over there 20 years on a war based on lies? We got to get that guy, Saddam Hussein, what was his name? No, I know, Osama bin Laden. Oh yeah, the Osama bin Laden, that the little peanut farmer that all the liberals love, back to kill the Russians when the Russians are trying to get the Taliban out there in late 1970s, and Reagan did the same. That's okay. You can pay the Taliban to kill the Russians, but you can't pay the Taliban to kill the Americans. We have no business being there. Again, I wrote about this in detail in our Trends Journal. The Taliban wanted to talk with us, and Bush said, we want that guy, bin Laden, back, dead or alive, we're not going to talk. And everybody waved those flags. His popularity rating went up to the high 80s from down in the toilet. Yeah. And just like they march off for dumbbells like Bush, oh, look at your cover of the Trends Journal. Dumb enough to believe the Bush wars, dumb enough to believe the COVID war. Got it? All the news, cases up, cases up, cases up. Yeah, jigs up, cases up. 50,000 new cases yesterday. 856 deaths in the United States, which means 99.26 recovery rate. And who were dying? Bloop. Yep. Type 2 diabetes, and people from nursing homes that are chronically ill, and they closed down the entire economy, and the people believe it, like the little gutless people in Woodstock, the little quiche-eating grin liberals. They got mad at me because I said it's like a Nazi government, so I corrected myself. The Soviet state of America. And that's who they are. Buried here in the toilet paper record. In the aftermath of protests, that's all they say about it. And it goes on to show that after the protests, there were not high spikes at all in New York City. The numbers actually went down. So it's okay to protest. It's okay to protest. But they bury it. They bury it. The data's all here. It's in your Trends Journal next week's. Numbers aren't going up, but they're claiming they're going up, the cases. The reason the cases are going up, they got long lines of afraid people getting the tests, and most of them, again, 99.26 recovery rate. A weary mayor decides to delay indoor dining. Bill de Blasio announced yesterday that New York City will not resume indoor dining. A wary mayor, a piece of crap mayor, a real moron jerk whose ratings were around, 35%. He tried to run for president on a Democratic Party and everybody couldn't stand him. That's why we're holding the Freedom Rally. Restore freedom. They have no right to do this to this. City delays indoor dining indefinitely. States tighten rules for bans citing virus risks. California closed down again. One after another. And what does California have? 40 million people? How many deaths? About 6,000. Oh, Texas? Oh, face mask time. That's right. You got to wear your face mask now. What do they have? 30 million people? Under 3,000 cases? They add up to nothing. 30 million people? And who's dying? Again, the obese, type 2 diabetics, people suffering from respiratory ailments. And again, the recovery rate is in the high 90s, even with using the low numbers that they're giving here. COVID-19 success story unravels in California. They locked it up again. Yep. And what else? Mask wearing still meets resistance. Oh boy, how can they do that? But then you go on to read this thing, and let's see. In Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Finland, fewer than 10% of the people say they wear masks. but not here in the gutless USA. West Hollywood Sheriff to start citing people not wearing face masks. This first offense, $250. Second offense, $1,000 fine. Third, $2,000 fine. If caught a fourth time without a mask, $5,000 fine in the USSA. And where are the people fighting this? This is against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Screw you, Celente. We're the cowards. We're the cowards. We're not going to do anything. Saturday, 3 p.m., the Four Corners of Freedom, right here in Kingston, New York. Me, Judge Napolitano, music, food, bands, having a great time. Freedom time. Freedom USA. And OccupyPeace.com, that's where you go for more information. And if you can't make it, give some money and subscribe to the Trends Journal. Unless you want to be a slave in Slavelandia. Doctors split on best way to treat coronavirus cases. Story in the Wall Street Journal. They don't know what to do or how to do it. The facts are here. They're making the crap up. Virus fears revive use of plastics. Yep. Oh, yeah. Remember that? We weren't allowed to. They banned plastics in New York until Killer Cuomo. You know, Killer Cuomo, the guy who took the people that were sick in hospitals out with the virus and put them in nursing homes. That Killer Cuomo. Yeah, we weren't allowed to use plastic bags when you went. But now you can't bring your own bag into the supermarkets because it's carrying that virus, the morons say. So plastic use is going way up. Office fine reopening tough. Yeah, no kidding. Full-time return to classrooms when summer ends, that's wishful thinking. Okay, if the schools aren't going to open up, cut back my school taxes. Cut them back by the number of percentages that aren't opening up. They're letting kids go to school maybe 2 days a week, every other day. 1 day off, 1 day on. You're not going to cut the taxes big time. American to resume filling all plane seats. Well, I guess they're not worried about social distancing anymore. But that's okay. You could do it there, but you can't do it anywhere else. Platforms halt forums of Trump supporters. Oh, I mentioned this because, why? Censorship in China. But it's okay to have censorship in the USSA. And what else do we have? Oh, firearm sales are way up. Adjusted to reflect only gun purchases, the number of checks in June in the United States was up nearly 136%. You better learn how to protect yourself. You better learn how to fight. You better learn how to get healthy. And finally, hot news cycle leads CNN to best ratings in 40 years. The primetime audience is up 120%. Go back to your Trends journals. On and on and on. We quoted that guy, Jeff Zucker. Take out the Z and put in an F, telling his staff when this thing broke out, keep it going, keep it going. Our ratings are going way up. They were in the toilet where this piece of crap should be, and all the other prostitutes shoved down the toilet for the crap, the hysteria, and the fear that they've sold us with the COVID war, just like the murderers sold us the fear, the hysteria, and the lies with all the wars they've taken us to. This is Gerald Celente. That's some of today's trends in the news, and I hope to see you Saturday, right here in Kingston, New York, 3 p.m., and let freedom ring. Thank you. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.